Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Here in this channel we talk about relaxed hair growth tips, protective styling, and so much more concerning the hair topic in general. So if you know you are interested in this type of content, consider subscribing to join the family. So in today's video we are going to be talking about hair porosity do's and don'ts, what you must do if you have high porosity hair, and what you must do if you have high porosity hair. So first of all, we are going to start with what high porosity hair means. From the name, this simply means your hair is very porous. Many things such like products can easily get into your hair and easily get out of your hair. For example, when you use moisturizing products and you have high porosity hair, your hair will actually absorb the products more quickly compared to someone that has low porosity hair. But at the same time, the product is more likely to evaporate faster from your hair compared to someone that has low porosity hair. So that's basically what high porosity hair means. Now moving on to the causes of high porosity hair. High porosity hair does not have one major cause. There are a variety of causes, and the first on the list is going to be genetics, okay, because your genetics can play a role in the porosity of your hair. So if you have high porosity hair from genetics, that is completely fine. Another cause of high porosity hair is damage. So damage to the outer layer of your hair, which is the cuticle, can actually result in high porosity hair, because when this happens, you are kind of destroying the outer covering of your hair, the cuticle layer of your hair, making your hair more porous. And this damage can result from a lot of things. It can result from improper use of relaxers. You can also get damage from heat, either by using excessive heat or using heat too frequently. I would not recommend that you use heat styling tools on your hair like every week or every 2 weeks. Even every month is kind of too frequent depending on your hair. If you be using heat on your hair every month and your hair comes out fine, that's completely fine. Personally for me, I use it on my hair only when I relax my hair, so that's about once or twice a year. So depending on what your hair can take, but I would not recommend that you use heat on your hair every week. That's just too much heat. Even every 2 weeks for me is too much. Then also using excessive heat on your hair, for example by setting the temperature too high when you know your hair can't take it, or by skipping a heat protectant. I always say in my heat styling videos, never skip the use of a heat protectant. This is very key when it comes to heat styling your hair. You don't want your hair to come out damaged in the name of heat styling. I'll personally recommend that if you don't have a heat protectant, be patient and look for one before you heat style your hair, okay? Another form of damage that can lead to high porosity hair is excess friction, manipulation, because all these actually damage the cuticle layer of your hair, which will actually make your hair more porous. So try and avoid these things. Let me just chip in here that one hair type when it comes to porosity is not superior than the other. High porosity hair is not superior to low porosity hair, and low porosity hair is not superior to high porosity hair. You just have to take care of them differently according to their needs, because the way you take care of high porosity hair is not the same way you take care of low porosity hair. Depending on how you care for your hair, someone with high porosity hair may have healthier hair than someone that has low porosity hair, and vice versa. So it doesn't matter whether you have high porosity or low porosity hair. What matters is how you care for your hair. Don't go and use what is required for low porosity hair on your high porosity hair, and when your hair comes out damaged, looking frizzy, looking dry and all that, you blame it on the fact that your hair is high porosity. No guys, the problem is your hair care. The same thing for low porosity hair. Don't expect to use what is required for high porosity hair on your low porosity hair, and when your hair comes out looking limpy and all that, you blame it on the fact that you have low porosity hair. There is nothing wrong with both hair types as long as you can take care of them. So like I said earlier, high porosity hair tends to get dry faster due to the fact that products evaporate from it quicker because of its high porosity. So that's why high porosity hair generally have the tendency to become dry, become frizzy, become prone to getting tangles and breakage and all that. So if you don't take care properly of your high porosity hair, you are going to get a lot of breakage in the long run, because your hair is going to become dry, frizzy, tangle, and eventually lead to breakage. So the first on the do's list I'm going to talk about for high porosity hair is moisturizing your hair. Now when I'm talking of moisturizing hair, I'm talking of moisturizer leave-ins. We're going to come to deep conditioners later, but it's very important that you use a moisturizing leave-in on your hair when you have high porosity hair. And the type of moisturizing leave-in you're going to be using is different from that required for low porosity hair. If you have high porosity hair, I would not recommend that you use light oils, sprays, and all that. I'd recommend that you use heavy butters, creams, and oils, because these naturally have the tendency to stay longer on your hair compared to when you use light moisturizers. And the type of moisturizing leave-in you're going to use is not the only factor to consider when you have high porosity hair. Another factor to consider is the frequency, because since high porosity hair tends to get dry faster compared to low porosity hair, meaning your hair may actually need moisturizing more frequently compared to low porosity hair. I personally have high porosity hair, and I'm not the fan that likes manipulating my hair too much. So most of the time I make sure my hair is in protective styles. In fact, I'm currently on the protective style challenge, which I talked about in other videos on my channel. So if you've not watched that, you can check out those videos. So protective styling is one of the ways I use to escape moisturizing my hair frequently, because I feel this is a form of manipulation as well. I'm a huge fan of low manipulation and protective styling. So that's one of the reasons I always put my hair in protective styles, especially my ends. If I'm not in long-term protective styles like braids, twists, sew-ins, and all that, I use buns, because the ends of my hair are the most porous. Generally, the ends of your hair are the weakest parts of your hair. They are the most damaged. So that's one of the reasons why if you can preserve your ends, you generally see length retention, because your ends are the weakest. So like I said, when I'm not using long-term protective styles like wigs, sew-ins, and all that, I use short-term protective styles like buns, as long as my ends are tucked away, because that is the focus. But there are times when I decide to just enjoy my hair and leave my hair down. When I do, I notice that my hair gets drier faster, especially the ends of my hair. And when this happens, I usually go in and moisturize my hair again to avoid a breakage. So when you have high porosity hair, it's not about just the type of moisturizer, it's about the frequency as well. That's why I recommend that you use heavy butters and creams and oils, because when you use this, they will generally stay on your hair longer compared to when you use light oils. Another tip you can use when it comes to moisturizing is to use the LOC method, where the L stands for your leave-in, the O is for your oil, and the C is for your cream. So you go in, moisturize your hair first of all with a leave-in, although we should follow it by an oil and then by a cream. Using this method, you're actually creating protective layers in terms of moisturizing your hair. So that's why this is one of the recommended methods. Now another thing I want to chip in is the fact that when you have high porosity hair, your hair needs protein. So you can also go ahead and use protein leave-ins as well. Personally, for me, the leave-in I use has both moisturizing and protein ingredients. That's why I'm so much in love with it. And this is the Profectiv Mega Grow Daily Leave-In Straightener, which I've talked about severally on my channel, so you can check it out if you are interested. Because the use of this protein is to fill in the cuticles that have been damaged from excessive heat, from improper use of relaxers, from friction, from excess manipulation, and all that. So it's advisable that you balance both the moisturizing and protein leave. Now there are different ways to know if at a particular moment in time your hair needs a protein or a moisturizing product. For example, if your hair is dry, frizzy, and all that, you need a moisturizing product. Or if your hair is lumpy, looks dull, you need a protein product. So that's basically a brief summary of how you can differentiate between when your hair needs a protein and a moisturizing product. Now moving on, the next thing we are going to be talking about is deep conditioning. Just like your leave-ins, your hair needs both protein and moisturizing deep conditioners if you have high porosity hair. So the same thing for the leave-ins. To differentiate if your hair needs protein or moisturizing deep conditioner, all you have to do is look at your hair and check out for the characteristics I mentioned earlier. But for me, I personally like to balance it. Like on my on my wash days or my relaxer days when deep conditioning, I initially go in with a protein deep conditioner. After that, then I go in with a moisturizing deep conditioner. But it depends on what your hair loves, it depends on what you'll be doing. Some people like alternating it, like if they wash their hair every two weeks, they may deep condition their hair with a moisturizing deep conditioner, and the next 2 weeks they go in with a protein deep conditioner and keep on alternating it. So it depends on what you are used to and what has been working for your hair. Now the next thing I'm going to be talking about is a cold water rinse. Now warm water raises up the cuticle of your hair, opens the pores of your hair. So that's why sometimes it's recommended that when you're about to wash your hair, you first go in with warm water, because when the pores are open and when you go into shampoo and deep condition your hair, the product actually penetrates your hair more. So in other words, warm water raises the porosity of your hair. That's make it more porous. Now on the other hand, cold water does the opposite and closes the pores of your hair. So that's why when you are done with your washing, your conditioning and all that, you want to make sure your pores are closed so that the products you use will be retained. So that's why it's advisable that you finish it up with a cold water rinse. Now moving on to the don'ts of high porosity hair. The don'ts I'm going to be talking about is using sulfates. Sulfates have the tendency of drying your hair, so that's why I generally avoid using sulfate shampoos. When I first started my hair journey, before I knew what was better for my hair, I was using sulfate shampoo. I noticed that my hair came out dry immediately after my washes, but then ever since I stopped using sulfate shampoos, I hardly see that anymore. And remember, I said that high porosity hair tends to get dry faster and quicker. They are prone to dryness and frizziness, so you would not want to use something that would make it more dry. So generally avoid the use of sulfate shampoos or sulfate containing products. Now the next thing I'm going to be talking about is always washing your hair. Now when you wash your hair, you actually wash away the natural oils of your hair, the natural grays on your hair. You know, there is nothing as perfect as what is naturally produced by your body. You may decide to wash your hair every 2 days or every day and go in with a moisturizing product because you know that washing your hair will actually dry your hair. But what is in a moisturizing product cannot be compared to the natural oils your hair produce. So allow your hair to be moisturized on its own before you go in with your supplementation. Don't wash away the natural oils produced from your scalp before it even has the chance to fulfill its purpose. So limit the amount of time you wash and shampoo your hair generally. I would not recommend washing your hair every day. Some people wash their hair every 2 weeks. Well, it generally depends on what has been working for your hair, but the less frequent the better. Me, I only wash my hair only when it's necessary. When I'm in a long-term protective style for about 3 to 4 months, I don't wash my hair, so I can actually go that long without washing my hair and my hair comes out fine. So it's not about washing your hair every day or every 2 days. You are actually doing more harm than good to your hair. So these are some of the do's and don'ts I have for you when it comes to high porosity hair. If you have any other tip, any other do's or don'ts, make sure to leave them in the comment section down below. And if you watched this video this far, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Click on the subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you can become part of the family. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching and see you in my next video.